Welcome back to another body language analysis. And in this one, we are going to watch a scene from Jack Reacher. And I picked this one because I've recently learned something new by a behavioral scientist called Mark Bowden. And I want to, tell you about it because I don't want to gatekeep and it's very useful for real life. And of course, remember, this is a series, it's not real life, but that doesn't mean that the body language that is being used here is not useful in real life. Because behind every character, there are multiple experts making sure he moves just the right way to fulfill the role of the character. Okay? So all of the movements he does are very realistic and you can copy them and use them in real life. So let's get into it.
The accident was just a few days ago.
Well,
Before we start analyzing, we got to talk about the phenomenal posture, right? Posture is such an important thing because it just shows that you carry yourself in a certain way, that you make sure you're, looking good, that you're being presentable. And of course, the actor here is already a very big guy, so it comes naturally that he takes up a lot of space. But with the right posture, it's just you take up so much more space. Even dudes who are not built the way he is, with good posture, you will take up more space than the average guy, because the average guy doesn't have good posture. Okay, he slouches over. He's being on his phone all day, head down and everything. So you want to make sure you have good posture because, as you can see right here, even if he's just walking or standing, he takes up a lot of space. He seems very confident. And that's very important.
truth be told, Mr. Doyle,
Now, I also want to talk about how he gets into the chair. It's a little thing, but everything's a little thing if you break it down, right? The way he grabs the armrests right here, that's not, he doesn't have to do that, but by grabbing it right there, you can just see how much space he creates for himself because his elbows are flaring out. And it's a phenomenal way to, get into a chair while taking up a lot of space. You can just see how much space he's taking up. It's a really confident way to take a seat. And on the other hand, you can see the guy he's talking to kind of with this closed body language right here, hands clasped together. Just seems very submissive, very timid in comparison. He seems, he makes himself smaller than he is. With the right body language, he could, maybe like put his arm out like this and I don't know, this one like this, and he would take up a lot more space. But because he has bad body language, he just seems a lot less threatening, and less dangerous and less confident.
I'm sorry, what was your first name again?
Brian,
Truth be told, Brian, we don't normally handle auto claims here. Usually leave that to the bus.
So this is the main thing I wanted to talk about. The gestures he's doing and how he's gesturing, right? You will see that this guy, and honestly most salespeople in general or business people in general, are gesturing in this kind of way. This entire clip, I think, he will just gesture out of like this area. His hands are here and then he will gesture like with his hands out of it. This area right here is called the truth plane. Okay, this is what I learned from Mark Bowden. So essentially, gesturing right here on kind of stomach level, even when you're standing stomach level or belly button level, gesturing in that area will make people perceive you as more honest and truthful than you might actually be. So essentially, when you gesture here, people will trust you more, even if you might not be trustworthy. Okay, so you could be lying, but if you gesture there, people will trust you more. Okay, this is like, this is a fact. This is by a behavioral scientist. He also wrote like a book about it. This is like a pretty crazy thing, because you could lie to people, but by gesturing right here, they will trust you more than if you would like gesture, let's say on chest level, for example.
Bench crowd. But the Home Depot's got deep pockets, and I intend to get my hands all the way in them.
You see what he's doing? He's constantly gesturing around this area, okay? The entire clip he's gesturing around this area. All right? And also notice how he's looking down right now. This is just like because I froze right here, but don't look down. Looking down is submissive. But still, the main attention should probably be here, because he's constantly gesturing right there. And just make sure that you keep that in mind. When people gesture there, you will perceive them as more truthful, but it doesn't mean that they're actually honest.
Get you the recovery you deserve.
Also right here, he pointed at him.
Get you the
this is not a really good body language by him right there. You know, you don't want to point at people that you're trying to win over or, impress or something. Because pointing at them with one finger like this is always threatening. No matter how you do, no matter what you say, pointing at them with one finger like this is always threatening. In this case, you want to point with your entire hand if you don't want to threaten them. So your entire hand facing towards him. That just comes across a lot less threatening. There were also studies made about that.
recovery you deserve. So, let's start at the beginning. What was the date that delivery truck hit you?
There was no truck. I made up a story so you'd see me. Now get me your file on Peach.
Alright, so now here's the plot twist. I'm gonna give you a spoiler already. He's gonna start punching him in a second. We don't really need to analyze all that. But you can also see how calm and collected he stays, right? And that's, of course, because, you know, it's a series. But in general, men who stay calm in emotional situations like these, you know, he's threatening him. He could be getting loud. You know, emotional men would get loud, but emotional men are weak. Because if he would start like screaming or something, this would just be like a lot weaker look for him, right? By him, you know, staying calm and collected and saying it in a calm manner, it's not only a lot more threatening, because you know that, you know, he's just speaking facts. He's not even angry at you. He's just, you know, saying what he will do. It's also that, you know, you can... It's also that it's harder to deal with him, you know, because he's calm. He's not being aggravated by you, so he's chilling. So it's harder to, like, you know, make him angry, make him, you know, try to get him to make a bad move or something. Okay, always stay unbothered as much as you can. Okay, I'm gonna play out some of the rest of the clip, but that was mostly it, body language wise.
Jobling.
Excuse me?
A client you represented for a traffic violation and disorderly conduct charge.
But also notice how strong his eye contact is the whole time, right? He's unbothered, but he has phenomenal eye contact. That's very, very confident.
His file. Get it.
I don't know what game you're playing at here, but
This is a pretty submissive move, kind of, you know, showing your hands to him, you know, kind of like, oh, don't threaten me, I got my hands up.
get out of my office.
No.
Excuse me? Who the hell do you think you are?
Right there, he was leaning in, you know, he was just coming forward, leaning in. Leaning in always means that you're starting to get more invested into something or more interested in something, but it's also a submissive move. So it shows that you're interested, but it's also submissive, so use it wisely.
A pissed off drifter with nothing to lose.
And again, you know, notice how calm he stays the whole time, and notice how his body language is not changing at all, right? He maintains a phenomenal posture even on the chair, and he just he just stays unbothered. He stays calm and collected. It's really a great look for him. He has phenomenal body language.
When you want to get arrested for trespassing,
Pull up Jobling's file now.
I will ruin your life with
Here you can see the threatening finger in this, situation. It makes sense. Before it didn't. That's how you usually use it.
one phone call.
I'll end your life with one phone.
That was a dope fucking sentence. Yeah, so now he's going to kick his ass, whatever. That was it for this video. I hope you learned something and understood what the truth plane is, and maybe you can use it in real life. Thank you.